Okay, the next mini section, 18 lines, the omen. Just remember that Aeneas is retelling the fall of Troy to his Carthaginian audience. And they are in the throes of fleeing and they receive an omen, as the title says. Okay, quite light on in terms of techniques. Let's have a look at, so I might touch upon some things related to themes as well. So first of all, 690. Read without an underline is just theme related stuff. So pietate, the pietas, pietas, piety, duty, duty to God, duty to one's people, just generally goodness. It's difficult to define exactly. But this is Anchises speaking. So he uses piety or the goodness of the Trojans as a basis for his plea to Jupiter here, to give them a sign that this is the correct, the rightful course of action, that indeed Troy cannot be saved and that they must leave. So to look forward, not back. And this would relate to Virgil's audience as well, because yes, so the Trojans, they have Trojan ancestry, the Romans, and they would believe that they are generally good people. So unlike the Greeks, so who are treacherous, just not trustworthy, as seen in the Trojan War by their trickery of the horse, and Romans, Trojans here, and by extension Romans, generations down the line, Romans believed in their salt of the earth values and just their general goodness as people. They acknowledged that, say, for example, the Greeks were better at something. So when they subjugated Greece as part of the empire, they acknowledged that Greece was better at some things like arts and things like that. But and they were better rulers, obviously, because they annexed Greece. But they just believed that they were just good people. So even though they were expanding beyond their boundaries, beyond the boundaries of the original tribe, and then into Italy, then Europe and North Africa, etc. Bit of Asia Minor as well. Yeah, they still believed in their where they come from, and this was not only the early days of Rome, but also you could say Troy too. So yeah, so just this would be, so just to say it again, just this idea of pietas, key theme in the Aeneid is something that the Romans could, so something that would appeal to Virgil's Roman audience of the 1st century BCE of Virgil's time. Even though transferred epithets are the actual technique, just be wary of the epithets for Jupiter, the king of the gods. So omnipotens and also pater. So almighty, like the word omnipotent, and also father. So he's not just a god, he's the father of the gods. There's a case that it could be a transferred epithet. Like it's equally used for Aeneas as well, as the father of his people. But yeah, I don't think, yeah, but I don't think, I'm not sure who was the first claim to the word father, but just, yeah, but just these would just draw attention to the importance of the plea. So not just making, and Kaiser isn't just making a plea to any god, it's the father of the gods, it's Jupiter. Okay, so it thundered on the left. Yes, so here, an example, WO stands for word order. And so intonuit, so verb at the start of the line. So it's not the end of the sentence, but yeah, lines don't necessarily line up with sentences. So sentences and clauses can end anywhere. And the verb is at the start. So again, just to show the destiny of Rome. It thundered on the left, so that it was said to be, the Romans believed that, this is meant to be a blue book by the way, they believed that to be a good omen if you saw thunder on your left. Don't ask me anything more about that. And so that's something that they would be able to relate to. So as an audience, and just the fact that, yeah, so the end product of this omen, this sign of all this, the actions which are done as a result of this omen. So they can't, they're convinced not to look back, that Troy cannot be saved, that that the gods are leveling the city, and that they must seek a new Troy. They must found a new Troy. The end result of that, from this omen, is Rome. So that's something that connects Troy to Rome. And on the left, Liwum. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly why it is a good omen. The word just I highlighted it there because of its because it's not technique related, but it's just a word that is related to the importance of the text to the Virgil's Roman audience in the 1st century BCE, and also that we saw it before, but used as a bad omen. So by saying that their minds, so when they let the horse in, despite some people strongly expressing their views not to. You remember earlier in the set lines that Aeneid said that the minds of the Trojans had been kind of like absent-minded, so ill-omened. So that they were gullible, just absent-minded, you know, and that sort of, yeah, so that ill-fated, so not wary of fate, you could say. So that accounts for Liwum there. Okay, so then there's just a the sign of the sign of a shooting star. Haven't written imagery, but it is quite a vivid, lengthy description. Idaean, I haven't written it down, but you could say it's some sort of synecdoche. So Mount Ida representing Troy. It's near Troy. It's in Crete, near Troy. So like the word Phrygian, just the region representing Troy. Well, this one is just a place near Troy representing Troy. Could possibly draw attention to the just the significance of the omen in having some sort of delineation between old Troy not being able to be saved and new Troy having to be sought after. That is Aeneas and Anchises and Ascanius and the Trojans' destiny now. So yep, so scrolling down, speaks towards the gods, something like that. Yeah, so really, is that all there is? Yeah, there is too. Yeah, so just to draw attention to this, I'll just scroll down in terms of the Latin, just to be where it ends. So 704 or so, is that right? As a comrade, there we go. Yeah, 704. Okay, so 701. Now, yam. So having received this omen, the repetition of now as I said, draws that line between thinking of the old Troy and then putting that aside in their minds that it can't be saved, that is the past, and that they must, as difficult as it is, forge on and follow fate, follow the prophecies that they have been given, such as from Aeneid from Hector, and as he will get from his an apparition of his wife Creusa as well. So just that repetition of now shows the time at which Anchises and by extension Aeneas are convinced that they must move on, that they must leave the old Troy behind. So there's that, there's always that that kind of conflict between past and future. So when to leave the past behind. So this is further highlighted. I follow and where you lead, I'm present. Gods of my father, save my home and save my grandson. So I have underlined, but with all the examples of asyndeton, I haven't written asyndeton. I just make the text look too awkward because there's a lot. Now, asyndeton can denote some sort of pace. So as I've said before, getting rid of a word like, just getting rid of the syllable can give one syllable to another word rather than saying space at space, which are very short pauses in a line, which kind of break it up and its rhythm in a way. So this line 702, it's not particularly long, so it's not particularly dactylic. And yeah, someone's saying something. There's no. Sometimes you get dactylic lines and lines with asyndeton where there's a pursuit happening, or there's some sort of simile with a pursuit, or it's fast, it's quick paced, it's full of action, it's lively. But no, I don't think this is the case here. But just something to be wary of. The other thing asyndeton can do is just draw attention to the words on either side of it. So in this case, the two things that Anchises is saying is asking the gods to save. So, and again, just this thing about past and present as well. So just as Troy burns, so just as tragic as it is, he's just saying, save my home. I think it's all in vain, really, but just, I don't know, may it be as pleasant as possible, I guess, in the circumstances. But then looking towards the future, and convinced by the omen that they cannot, that old Troy is a lost cause, to make sure that at least the lineage of Trojans continues on. So Ascanius, he's Anchises' grandson, representing the future of Troy, whereas Anchises and definitely Creusa, who's left behind. Anchises does come with them. Doesn't make it to Italy, but just he does come with them. He does represent the past. So his more active life is behind him. So you think about just generations. So he's lived most of his life. So he represents the past more than, and Ascanius much more the future. And again, and also here, just another thing which shows Anchises has been convinced, not only that Troy can't be saved, and that they must move on from the old Troy, but that he is going to come with them. That's the important thing, because he was unwilling to leave behind, his home. Like you can imagine, you can imagine, it's like you think of a disaster, and there might be some people, I don't know, like a bushfire, and they don't want to leave their home. You know, like it's you just think of the attachment of someone to their home. It's that sort of thing. So again, just at the start of the line, Cato. So like the word concede, that's at the front of the line. So I indeed yield. So as I said, convinced by the omen, this example of word order, just like the other one above, where was it again? What's the line? But just, we had an example of word order before. What was it? Sorry, I just lost my spot. Oh yeah, I thundered. Yeah, no, that was just, so nothing got to do with that, but just again, the word order showing you that Ascanius, Anchises, yeah, too many A's. It's like the Kardashians except with A's. So Anchises, sorry, not Ascanius. Anchises will come with my son, his son Aeneas, and he's convinced that yeah, that's to come and leave behind Troy, which can't be saved. So, and he also says, I don't refuse to go with you as a comrade. Actually, I should add there. Give me a sec. So just on the go, I'll add litotes. So he doesn't say I will go, but it's I don't refuse. So I won't, hang on, I won't not go. Yeah. So that just draws attention to how he had previously been unwilling to leave for the natural human reasons I said. But he has been now convinced that he must, he's been convinced to go by the gods. Okay, so that's it for that short section. Took me 2 goes to do it. I better save it before my internet crashes mid-recording. There we go.